Hello! What is going on? I don't know. Oh, hi! Oh, hi! 1 second. Okay. Hello. Welcome to today's messages. Get your lips ready and your ear sauce. Drizzling. I don't know where I was going with that. Okay. Let's cleanse and clear. Tune in to the energy frequencies of the earth. What's up? We got Whimsy Moon in here today. And she already wants out. There you go. Go out then. She's like, can't you just leave the door open for me? Fine. I will. Thank you for being here. Welcome to today and the messages that we have here for you. The messages within the messages. Right? That's how it works here. All the messages are messages above messages. And the first thing we do is tap into the octoriums. And they get us, they direct us to areas that are necessary for us to look at, consider, be aware of. Ooh, do. I don't know what that is the soundtrack for, but it's for us today. Do. I don't know what it is. It's gonna be one thing and then it turned into something else. Okay. So this card is very important to us. It is the third wave. Okay, the energy of the third wave makes you aware of your choice to be here on Earth. Just a recognition of why you're here right now because you chose it. Okay then. Okay, Acturians. You chose to be here. You chose to be part of the love tribe who is anchoring in the love frequency, in your beingness, in your doingness, in your thinkingness, in your frequency. You are here to anchor the love frequency because we need that now. We need people holding the love vibe. There's so many triggers out there to bring us out of the love frequency. And this is why our work is so important, because we have to maintain the love frequency regardless of what visual triggers are around us. And that is hard work. This is why the warriors of light, right? Rainbow warriors, all bringing our unique frequency, our unique resonance, and together we create a wall of love that is impenetrable. Okay, I love it. Yes, the high vibe tribe of love. It's you. It's you. And it's me. It's us. We got this, right? Okay. Runes. We came to be here on this this earth to release the things and leave a legacy. Wow. Wow. And also exoskeleton creatures here, right? Their defenses are on their outside. Their hard shell is on the outside, and their soft, squishy stuff is on the inside. Hagulas and Othalas. Without the S. Okay. Let us see what the book has to say. Whew. It's hot already. Spirit is in the house when the heat goes on. Disruptions, endings and beginnings, transformation, radical change, and completion. So this falls in line with where we're at. We came to be here for this third wave, this initiation, this transition phase from the getting ourselves to the point where we can get into and feel and resonate with love and beyond. Yes, because I feel like the first part of life was the pressure, right? The becoming, the transforming from coal into a diamond. And that part is complete because now we are a diamond. Now we can shine and reflect, and we are innately protected because of everything that we've gone through, right? Diamonds is one of the strongest things out there, right? They use diamonds to cut into other things. And so coal breaks apart, lights on fire easy, takes longer to cool. The diamond reflects light. It holds light. It facets light. It spreads, it shares, it shines in its gorgeousness. So I'm getting this completion, transformation, radical change. It's also like the tower, right? Where it is a sudden slap in the face or sting that brings you back into the now. Activated. I want to say activated. Okay. And then Othala is home, inheritance, group prosperity, heritage, and ancestors. Yes, it is the taking of all of the baggage that was passed on, that wasn't dealt with, right? Think about your great grandmother who was a hoarder and never dealt with any of her stuff. And so when she died, she passed all her stuff on to the next generation for them to deal with all her stuff, but they never dealt with it either. And so it got passed along the line till you get to our generation, to you, who is a curse breaker, who is a generational healer, cleanser. You got in there and dealt with all of the stuff. You're like, I am no longer going to be weighted down by previous generations' baggage. I am going to do what is necessary to go through, to sort, to upcycle, to furbish, strip away and reveal the classic beauty and all of the things, all of the analogies. You did all the work, and now you are lighter, right? And now you are instilling or offering something new to pass on to the next generation coming after you, right? It's no longer this baggage of the old. Now it is the tool belt, and the documentation or the um, research uh, notes on transforming, on empowering, on becoming a diamond, on releasing old things. This is the legacy of the hermit crab, because the hermit crab, once it outgrows its shell, it switches it up for something different, right? And another crab comes along and takes it over. So this is that mindfulness of what you have received and what you choose to leave for the next. And ideally, we want to edit and curate so that it is stronger, more fortified, and beautiful for the next generation. So that, you know, it's easier, it's better, it's nicer. Okay. Okay. So, legacy and completion of transformation. This is gorgeous. And how it affects. Yeah, there's your experience, right? You are leaving a pathway through, with, for, about, because of your experience. Yes, and the moon in Hagalas is so huge. It is like this necessary pressure to become a diamond. And it was also a necessary pathway to lead you back within, lead you to your higher self and your connection to your intuition and all of those things. You got there because of every single thing. You got here because of every single choice you made or didn't make or was made for you, or whatever the case may be. Every single thing up until now is what got you here. And that's why there's the peace with the past. That's a necessary part of the healing, especially going into your future, right? This is how we don't carry the past with us. We're not carrying old debts, old grudges, old mindsets and limiting beliefs. This is all part of the baggage that we get passed on, right? So by you stripping away, by you exposing, by you integrating and going within and doing all of the work, you are doing all of the good stuff that will last for lifetimes, okay? Yes, I keep seeing like this estate, right, that got passed on, and by the time you got it, you know, the well was poisoned and the pond was stagnant, and there was, you know, a vehicle graveyard in the back, and there was a storeroom jam packed full of stuff, and you're like, this is not the beautiful magic garden that I imagined. what do I gotta do? You gotta rip out all the old dead plants that are taking up space, refresh your water sources, purify, cleanse, clean, and slowly but surely start bringing in the magic and the beauty and the gorgeousness. But it takes work, right? It's taken work. It's taken getting your hands dirty, getting in on it all. And that experience is what is part of your superpower. It's part of your it's part of your legacy, man. It's part of your legacy. Not everybody makes it to the diamond. Not everybody endures the pressure and doesn't get crushed by it. Not everybody does everything that is necessary to fully transform. Yeah, and part of your legacy and knowing is your understanding that there's only one way to become a diamond, and that is to endure the pressure. And this adds a level of compassion and empathy to others going through their journey, because you recognize that this is a necessary part of becoming, right? It makes it so that you're less likely to try and pick up other people's stuff for them, because you recognize that them being burdened by their stuff is what will eventually lead them to letting it go, right? So it puts you in a better position to help, to aid, to support, to be compassionate and patient and loving with others as well, right? Yes, the hermit. I don't think you can do it all without hermiting at some point, you know? I certainly woke up one day and realized I was surrounded by all the people who were not necessarily holding my best interest or whatever in mind. You know, those people who like sneakily take pictures, like they recognize that there's something about you and they take pictures and they take videos that you never see, and it's almost like they're holding on to it just in case, you know, you become something later on, then they've got some pictures and memories or something to sell or exploit or what. It's weird, right? But they're also not necessarily doing anything to help you get there, even if they're in a position to, because they don't actually want you to. It's weird. But yes, so you have to pull away. And even if, you know, the people there, not all the people, some of them actually are supporters and whatever, when you are used to having your lens obscured, it's everybody becomes suspect, right? And this is part of this hermiting. This is part of that detaching away. Also, this hermiting represents your independence, your willingness to stand alone, speaking your truth, right? Regardless of what anybody thinks or reacts or responds, right? And that's a hard thing to do, especially in the face of loved ones. You know, I mean, if you were resistant at all to the pandemic and the whole COVID thing, that was kind of like, well, kind of, it was blatantly, not so blatant to some people, but to others, it was blatant. Um, psychological evaluation of the masses and how manipulatable fear based people are. And, I certainly felt this. Everyone around me was just overwhelmed, overcome by the fear. And they were very much like, you need to do this because everybody's doing this. And thank goodness for my autism or whatever my situation is. But when people are like, you have to do this because everybody's doing it, is exactly what makes me go, wait a minute, that's not a good reason. That's not a reason for me. That's not going to be my motive factor, right? But in that case, there was a very real hermiting process, right? It's this, I am willing to stand alone with what I believe. And this is, you're going to run into that everywhere on this journey. It's part of the diamond becoming. This is just like we are born alone, we die alone. Well, you also transform alone. I mean, people can transform together and it can be like this beautiful thing, collaborative, cooperative, but it's still something that is happening to you, right? So the hermit, okay, and the releasing of the old ways. This is the Hagalas. This is that old way of being that we are or have transformed, completed, right? The days of being held back by fears, limiting beliefs, what other people think, what other people think we should do or behave like, or all of these things that have held us back from doing what we feel right in our hearts. This is what we are releasing. And because of it, we are opening ourselves up, our regulating of the nervous system, right? Because part of, well, this is all fear-based stuff, right? Fear of the unknown, fear of speaking truth, fear of what the other guy's going to think, fear about, somebody being upset with you or disappointed in you, like I held on to, like, literally, speaking of ancestral baggage, my mom moved away 13 years ago, and she left this bed frame and this old antique chair that and she always had this thing. If she ever gave me something, I was never allowed to just get rid of it. I had to check in with her first. If she wanted it back, then she would take it back or whatever, right? So anyways, she wanted these things and I held on to them for her, even though she moved away. She was, 10 hours, she's 10 hours and two ferry rides away or whatever, right? And I think I held on to that thing for probably 9 years, okay? And it was debilitating. I ended up, this room actually was where I housed it, and I had it up on its side and, things hanging off of it, stuff on top, stuff behind it. I'm trying to utilize it. I'm a very much make do with what you got kind of a person, right? And then I was getting into tattoos, and I was like, if only I had a room that I could make into a tattoo room. And then I look in this space and I'm like, what the heck am I doing, right? Well, I can't get rid of that stuff because my mom wants it. And then I had to assess it. It's like, okay, so what if I get rid of it? Well, then she's going to be mad at me. Oh, well, right? That was the only thing that was keeping me holding on to these things. She had no intention of ever coming back here to pick them up. And, I've got a van. it's not fitting in it. I'm not sticking it on top of it. I'm not going to deliver it to her. So I'm just supposed to hold on to this stuff for infinitum until forever. And no. So I got rid of them. Mims, you sneaky little devil. Sneaky little she-devil. This is Mimsy Moon. Mimsy Murdermit's Moon. What do you think you're doing? Hey, what do you think you're doing? Okay, Fluffy Butt. Quit mooning people. Quit mooning people. So, yes, let go. My fear of upsetting my mother was controlling my life, but this wasn't, well, yes, it was her because she conditioned me through my upbringing to fear her rejection, right? But it was part of my process of becoming part of this hermiting, this standing alone with my truth was I'm okay with you maybe being a little upset about the fact that I got rid of this stuff. Like the chair, it was just a sit chair. There wasn't anything spectacular. I can admire a piece of beautiful furniture. This was not it. It was uncomfortable. It made noise when you sat on it. I never used it, right? And it was just a pine freaking bed frame. Like it wasn't anything. And I feel like it was like that last attempt at control, right? It's like, no, you hold on to those things because as long as you're holding on to them, then that means that I, still have control over you or something. It's weird. But it's about looking at things from a different perspective, right? And it was also about confronting my child version who was scared of my mother's reaction, right? I'm a grown woman now. And even in the face of all of that, I was still finding things that I was still holding on to, right? So this excavation, this dealing with other people's baggage, it's deep and it's tedious and it takes a lot of time, but we can get there, right? And this empowering of self, and because of the experience of that and how debilitating it was for me, I'm going to be sure not to pass that on to my son. I am not going to give him anything with a condition that he has to keep it forever. That's up to him to decide because he's the one who has to physically deal with it all the time. And I want him to have an unburdened life, however that looks for him. I want him to live his best life, however that looks for him. And I don't want to put any conditions or extra weight or obligation or anything upon him. I want him to be free. Okay. And this is also another level of the kind of legacies that we leave for the generations coming after us, right? Breaking cycles is huge. It's huge. Choosing to do something different is huge. Recognizing, even having the ability to sit in your response and to recognize. I remember there was a time where I was doing whatever, the opposite of whatever my mom was telling me to do. In your rebellious teen stage, it's like, you better not do that. And it's like, I'm going to do what I want, and so I'm going to do that. Well, I remember the day that came where I recognized, and I asked myself, am I not doing this thing because my mom told me to do it? Or is this my best option? And that was huge. I feel like that was a level up for me on my growth because I didn't want to be spiteful, right? I didn't want to just do something because somebody told me not. That's a way of being manipulated, right? That's the reverse psychology thing where people are doing things spitefully. I wanted to make sure, check in, that I was doing things based on what is right for me. I'm not doing it just because she's telling me to, and I'm not doing it because she told me not to. I'm doing it because it's what's best for me. And this is part of the process and the shift, right? The change of perspective, the seeing it in a way that supports. Yes. Okay, Mims, what do you think you're doing? She's like, hee hee, ha ha, hoo. That was the look she just gave me. Okay, well, you're gonna have cards falling on you. Like the Emperor. Okay, these things have contributed to a certain level of self-mastery, right? You are able to make the best choices for everybody, and by taking in all of the information and making the best choice, not basing it on influence, external influence. And this is about data collecting, right? This is about being open to other people's perspectives. This is about being in a position. This is that hermiting, right? The emperor is kind of a representation of a hermit in a way, because they are making decisions for the good of all, right? They're not, they could consult, but the final decision rests with you. And that's what I was trying to say about the hermiting process is part of this whole thing of born alone, die alone, transform alone, right? Because when it comes down to it, you are the one that makes choices for you. You choose how you respond. You choose how you engage. You choose how to evolve. You choose how to stay stuck. And, not choosing is a choice, right? I choose to not choose and have everybody else choose for me. And then I'll just deal with whatever is around. That's a choice, right? And so part of the Emperor vibe is taking ownership and responsibility for all of the choices. If you choose wrong, own it, stand behind it, take responsibility for it, be accountable, right? And then make a better choice next time. Okay. Okay, Emperor. Yes, I also am getting diamond vibes from the Emperor, right? This is that transformation, completion, transforming into one who is discerning, leadership, been there, done that. The Emperor in the tarot has to go through all of the things, right? The Emperor represents all of the masculine energy, the King of Cups, King of Swords, King of Wands, King of Pentacles, and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up. Yes. So this is definitely diamond. Also, did I show you? Look in behind him. Looks like a giant diamond, right? That's like a scry. It's like being able to see from all the perspectives. This is giving me the same idea as the Hierophant card, where the figure stands kind of looking out this rose window, or the third eye portal, right? Which is like lenses and apertures and magnifications and stuff. It's like a more elevated position to perceive. Yes. And you will notice that what you speak and think into being also is elevated, right? Because you have a better sense of the lay of the land. When you're down on the ground, you can only see the vicinity around you, your immediate environment, right? But when you are in this elevated position, so this is like even physically your connection to your higher self, having the elevated perspective, it's like big picture versus little picture. So your choices are going to be different because your understanding of the lay of the land and um, the information that you have access to is also expanded. Something like that. And this is also why it is important to lead from a place of love, right? Right from the beginning, it was speaking love into being an anchor for love. And your work in becoming this diamond, this emperor who takes action from an elevated position, this is part of why you are here on this earth, to demonstrate the process of becoming, that anybody who endures the work and dedication can arrive at. There's the tower. So towers can come in as everything showing up all at once, right? A snap to. So we've got the echoes of the old, right? We're kind of in this liminal in-between space where the new is starting to swirl in and the old is still swirling out. So you're getting glimpses of the new world, the new way, the new perspective. You're starting to see evidence of new choices and the effects of all those things as you are witnessing all the other things starting to phase out. And this tower, well, it's something that is either happening right this second or it's gonna happen soon, right? It's this quick, sudden, radical change, right? We compared the tower to Huggalas because of that. Get your butt out of there. Because of that radical change. And the tower, yes, their radical change definitions. Something that solidifies, it's not ever going back to the old way, right? It's like stepping out of the pressure cooker. The last time you looked at yourself in the mirror, you were a hunk of coal coming out of the pressure cooker, but you're still feeling that, right? It's just like when you're spinning around in circles and you stop, you're still spinning for a while, right? And that's where we're at. But it's suddenly the spinning stopping and your vision clearing, and you're standing in front of a mirror and you're like, oh, wow, I'm a diamond now, right? So it's sudden realizations. Oh, wow, I'm powerful. Oh, wow, the things I speak and think into being are, do, can, will, right? Wow, all this work that I've done really is having an effect. Like all of these things can be towers. things just starting to work out in beautiful ways can also be a tower. Just now in this diamond phase, it is all about love, anchoring in the love, right? So responding in love. So towers that happen, unexpected things that happen in your physical world that you weren't prepared for, that you didn't know was going to happen, or whatever the case may be. Those are the times to really settle in or beam out the love frequency. In this trusting that it's all part of it, trusting that it's all part of the readjusting period, right? If you are suddenly thrust out of your home that you've lived in for forever, this is a huge tower, right? But it's also this trusting that you are being moved because of all this work. You're no longer, your energy is no longer copacetic. Is that a word? There, right? So this is a faith, this is the trust, this is a recognition that the things are working in your favor, even when they kind of seem like they're not, right? Like getting a flat tire and being stuck on the side of the road doesn't seem like things are working in your favor. But then the guy who stops to help you, knows a guy who knows a guy who, you guys get talking, and then you're remembering this and bringing back that and going out there and reconnecting to that thing, and you're in a part of a town that you never go to, and you see a thing, and right, it's all part of it. So getting ahead of it is just to assume that all things, regardless of how they look, is for the greatest and highest good, right? Is part of, it's for the love. It's like trusting in your position, in the work that you've done, and opportunities to prove it. Yes, to yourself and to the universe, and to really take stock, right? If you're like, I used to, if I would have I remember those days, if I would have got a flat tire on my way to work, I would have lost it, right? I would have beat the crap out of the tire with my crowbar and, probably hurt myself in the process because I'm flailing. But now I just was like, oh, okay. And I just waited. I drank my coffee. I looked out on the road while I waited for roadside assistance, right? Find ways to maintain the love frequency within. Okay. This is your superpower. You're acting from love, acting from your heart space. I always call the cups the king and queen of hearts, because they are moving, existing, feeling, expressing, all from love. All from love. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful King of Cups. Yes, because the King of Cups recognizes that all things in the material come and go. This too shall pass. All these things ebb and flow. The thing that needs to remain constant is your connection to your higher self and your heart through your intuition, through your third eye. Mhm. My brain is trying to create the spirit child. Feel like your child is in your heart. When I was doing inner child healing, it was about revisiting those moments in childhood and bringing those fractured versions of self back into the heart. So I feel like your child, in the trifecta of the child, the nurturer, and the wise one, right? But then there's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. But the Holy Spirit, they call it two things, but it's actually one thing. So it's that that power three, right? The 1 + 1 = 3 concept of the masculine and the feminine and the child, right? The thing that they create when they balance together, this trifecta, the sacred three. So spirit, body, and the soul, or spirit, your soul, mind, but it's deeper than mind, right? The mind is still linked to the body, but your intuition, your higher knowing is connected to your higher self. It's the middle person, right? It's your middle guy. Is that the parent? Okay. Don't overthink it. Okay. Just connect, ground center, right? Get into the earth and the sky, your intuition, this groundedness, okay? And be joyful. Let the world turn in your favor. Okay. Okay, that took all the time in the world. Let's get a crystal card. See if the crystals have anything for us here. But this is a recognition. We came here for a purpose, and this is it. This is the purpose, to act from the heart, right? It came after the tower. And so whatever the tower is going to be, it is going to help you to lock in to your heart space. This is why you're here on this earth right now, to lock in the love vibe. This isn't about being in denial of everything but love. This is about still choosing love regardless. Okay. What do we got here? We got a number 9. Sacred space. Inspiration, power, and connection. Your sacred space is a personal environment created to connect with your inner self. It is a private place where you will not be disturbed or judged for your thoughts and actions. Oh yeah, so the story, getting rid of all that baggage, all this stuff, I was able to create my tattoo room, which I eventually turned into my sacred sanctuary space, right? So this removal of the old allowed new beautiful things that are supportive of my growth to be, as opposed to this holding crap out of fear of disappointing somebody, right? Okay. You are guided to create a sacred space and connect with your inner self more often. This space can be in the corner of a room or a special location in nature. The power of your sacred space will grow with use and enable faster access to your higher self. You may wish to enhance your chosen location by filling it with objects that strengthen your connection with universal love. Carefully chosen crystals are especially powerful in this environment and will share their strength, clarity, and support. Beautiful. Yeah, that's that hermiting, right? This is making choices that serve you, and you may disappoint or upset or whatever, other people. But this is about standing in your own. This is about being like, this is going to be better for everybody. So just let it happen, right? Okay. Beautiful. Number 9. So create a sacred space that you can let go of all the overthinking, be grounded, check in, and see how this affects your world. Okay. Also, this completion. I'm getting right when the sun, Earth makes 1 year. It's like one revolution around the sun. It's like a completion, right? And then another year starts. So there's completion with the world card as well. So this is an indicating factor that your time as a coal is gone and you can't go back. You can't transform back into coal after you've become a diamond. Coal ways are over. Okay, you got this. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You're already there. You're a freaking diamond already. You did all the hard work already. You endured. You survived. Now you are alchemizing and figuring out how to be a diamond. True love might help. Yeah, true love. This is why you're here, okay? To feel the love, to act from your heart space. Beautiful. Get out and explore. Yes, 5151 on the timer. Very important. This brings in new energy and allows old energy to move out. This is part of the new way of being and doing. Release the resistance. Don't try to force anything. Allow things and flow, right? Forest time. Yeah. Get out and explore and hug a tree. Get into the forest. What are you looking at out there? Clean your space. Yeah, clean an area for yourself and make it magical. Make it something that when you step up to it, when you engage in it, when you sit in it, when you are setting the intention to be in it, that it empowers you, it calms you, it makes you feel like this. All right. And lastly, treat yourself. Yeah, you deserve to have a space for yourself to recenter, reconnect, to be, to empower. Because when you're an overflowing cup, you overflow into everything around you. And so this is for the good of all, right? You can be stressed and trying to deal with your children, or you can be relaxed and coming from a loving place to deal with your children. Which one is going to benefit them the most, right? Okay, well, there's your reading. Because that's all Mims is letting us do. So you can't see any of the things, but the things that we can see is up there. Okay, so there may be a tower moment that is coming, or many tower moments that will be. Just remember to allow and be in your heart space as you respond, right? This is the make sure what you speak and what you think are in line, and you check in with your heart space to know, right? Think about what you are leaving we're not just talking about material, right? We used it as an example, but it's also limiting beliefs and ideals and ways of being, doing, seeing. Okay, remember, you chose to be here now. And so own it. Own it. Take accountability for it and make it gorgeous. Okay. Love and appreciate you. Grateful for you, Mims. She thinks she's just the sneakiest little ninja in town, and she got to come up and be right in the middle of this reading, didn't you? Yes. Yes, you did. Okay. Okay. Take care. Love you. Bye. See you in another video another time. Bye for now.